makes you hugely enhanced. Things that you never thought you could do, now you can do because there is no limitation on you. A devotee is also insane with ecstasy, but he will never jump off a mountain or he will never jump off a high-rise building. You know, this happened to lots of people in United States during the 60s. People jumped off high-rise buildings because they were on LSD and they thought they're free and they could fly. Devotee also feels like that, but he will never jump off because his mind and body is in full function. So devotion has that power. Do not misunderstand devotion to believing something. Believing something means you made up something in your mind and make it like a reality. No, that's not devotion. That leads to fanatism.
Sadhguru, what is the difference between devotion and addiction? In devotion also, one is in a state where he cannot live without his object of devotion. So what is the difference?
Addiction is usually to substances. Devotion is towards something that you hold. You can only be devout towards something that you hold way above yourself. Devotion cannot be practiced. It cannot be cultivated or cultured. When you are overwhelmed by something or somebody, that you see something or somebody way above yourself, far beyond yourself, naturally devotion comes. It's very natural. Addiction comes because you taste something and you like the taste of it or the experience of it, you want to do it little more and little more and little more, after some time you're trapped in it. But a devotee looks more like an addict than an addict. An addict can hide his addiction. A devotee cannot hide his devotion. That's his problem. Even a drug addict, if he has little bit of control over himself, he can make himself look very normal and deceive the whole world. But a devotee is not capable of that. He just bursts forth anywhere. He cannot hide it. This question of devotion and addiction coming together, they are not two opposites in any way, but they have come together because both of them are sought, or both of them to some extent create some very pleasant or ecstatic experience within the person who is involved in it. People get addicted to something because the experience is strong. Otherwise, who would get… will you get addicted to the neem balls? You got to do it consciously. Every day you have to think, should I do it? You have to decide, okay, let me do it. One more day. You will never get addicted to the neem ball. It's safe. If you do not know the benefits of the neem ball, at least you know it's safe. It doesn't entangle you. So someone is getting addicted to something because it is creating some pleasant experience for them. People get addicted to tobacco, people get addicted to coffee, people get addicted to alcohol, various kinds of drugs, because it's creating some pleasant experience for them. If it caused pain, if it put them off, they wouldn't get addicted to it. So devotion and addiction are only connected on the level of experience, nowhere else. They're not at all. We should not even look at them together. But in terms of experience, yes, they have a common ground. Both of them create an extremely pleasant experience. What devotion means is, your emotions have become sweet, very sweet. A devotee may look like a madman to somebody else. A devotee's ways, the ways of a devotee may look utterly silly, illogical and stupid for a thinking person. For an intellectual person, the ways of the devotee look utterly foolish. But you tell me, you have this choice in your life. In 24 hours of time, if you can spend the 24 hours in utter pleasantness, is that intelligence? Or going through all kinds of turmoil in your mind which has nothing to do with the reality, is that intelligence? A devotee is very intelligent. There is a deep life sense involved in it. There's a very deep life sense, a profound sense of life involved in it. He has understood that ultimately the most important thing is, if you make this experience of life extremely pleasant, 24 hours of the day, all the time, through your life, if you make the experience of you being here totally pleasant, then nothing will entangle you, everything will release you. He has understood that. It's a very deep sense of intelligence. It may not be logical, it may look silly for an intellectual person, but there is a very deep sense of intelligence involved. And obviously, this is a historical fact. More devotees have attained to the ultimate than any other way. Devotion has always been the quickest and most successful way. But only problem is, they may look like nuts to the rest of the society. If you don't mind looking like a nut, or if you've realized you're one, whichever way, then there is no problem being a devotee. Devotees are fools who are not even thinking about their well-being. But they don't have to think about it because they have found their well-being. Only those who have not found it have to constantly think about well-being, isn't it? A devotee is well. If he has to die tomorrow, he is still well. That's how he is. So he's found his well-being, so he doesn't think about it. He doesn't feel the need to think about his well-being because he's well, really well within himself. So it's a very, very profound sense of life. If this life sense is dissected and analyzed, it doesn't make sense, but in your experience it makes sense. So devotion also causes ecstasy. Today, simple lumps of chemicals are also labeled ecstasy. Tablets are called ecstasy. If there was a tablet, if you popped it, for the rest of your life you are going to be ecstatic, I'm not against it. I'm okay with it. What's the problem? I'm perfectly fine with a drug. If there was a drug that you can take it, for the rest of your life you're ecstatic, what is the problem? Let's take it. But the problem is, it just gets you on a high for some time and then dumps you in such a bad way. And in the process of doing this, it just ruins you completely. That's the problem. If there were no side effects, if you pop one pill and… or even one pill a day, like vitamin, if you pop something, an LSD or an ecstasy or whatever the names they have for it, and for the whole day you're ecstatic and there's no damage to the body, you will live well and your intelligence still functions. That's important. If your intelligence still functions and it expands you and makes you enhanced in every way, I don't see what's wrong with the drug. But that's not what the drug does. It's just that with the drug, with the addiction, both the physicality and the mentality, both the body and the mind shrinks. The physical capabilities will shrink and the mental capabilities will shrink. So as a human being, you're not enhanced, you're destroyed. But devotion makes you hugely enhanced. Things that you never thought you could do, now you can do because there is no limitation on you. A devotee is also insane with ecstasy, but he will never jump off a mountain or he will never jump off a high-rise building. You know, this happened to lots of people in United States during the 60s. People jumped off high-rise buildings because they were on LSD and they thought they're free and they could fly. Devotee also feels like that, but he will never jump off because his mind and body is in full function, because he's in such a state of pleasantness within himself. So, addiction shrinks you, devotion enhances you. Both of them could be pleasant experiences. Addiction can give you moments of pleasantness. Devotion gives you a constant sense of pleasantness. But the most important thing, it enhances you, expands you, makes you all-inclusive. Addiction pushes you to your corner, makes you totally exclusive, to a point where after a period of addiction, most people become neurotic or broken with anxieties or depression. Because the mind is broken, the body is broken. So one enhances you, another destroys you. That's the big difference.
This question is from Arundhati. Namaskaram Sadhguru. You were speaking against belief system yesterday, but someone who believes in a particular God may have a wonderful experience of life because of that belief. How is this any different from someone experiencing life wonderfully because of a deity created as a yantra?
So because you believe something, when you believe something, it brings you lot of confidence. That's the reason why we believe. Well, we started with believing God. These days it's become fashionable to say, I believe in myself. I don't know what that means. How can you believe in yourself? No, I believe in myself. All you're trying to do is confidence-boosting exercise. Confidence is a dangerous damn thing. Most stupid things in the world are done because somebody is confident without any clarity about it. Most idiotic and disastrous things are done by people who have confidence without clarity. And they're usually believers. Either they believe in that or this or that or something. Essentially, belief means you're fundamentally dishonest. You're not willing to see, I do not know. Well, somebody believes and their life is wonderful, their life may be wonderful because they're devoted to something. It may be a deity, it may be the temple. Usually devotees are not really doing much with the deity. They're sweeping the temple, they're cleaning the temple, they're washing this and that, they're washing vessels in the temple, and it all feels wonderful because they're devoted. It is like, someone has a child, little baby, oh, they're so devoted to this little child. Everything is beautiful, changing the diaper is beautiful, wiping the shit is beautiful, everything is beautiful. Yes, it is. Not because shit is beautiful, simply because you're devoted. That's why everything is feeling beautiful. That is the nature of devotion. Whether it's a child or a temple or a god or a deity or a tree, it doesn't matter what. If you are devoted, your devotion will make everything beautiful because devotion is the sweetest emotion you can nurture within yourself. When your emotion is so sweet, what does it matter? You ate well, you did not eat well, you slept well, you did not sleep well, nothing matters. Everything is beautiful. This is the power of devotion. So with belief system, if you're trying to build devotion, fine, but devotion is just one step. There is no need to create another intermediate step because that intermediate step can be hugely misleading. When you believe you become right, others become wrong. A devotee never thinks like that. A devotee is never right. He knows he doesn't know a damn thing, but he just knows I'm devoted, that's all. And that is the power of devotion, that you transcend all the limitations of your own logic simply with the power of devotion, and life becomes extraordinarily beautiful. It is not that you know a thing, you may not know a thing, but it doesn't matter because the power of devotion is beyond the power of knowledge. It is. So that is not coming from your belief system, that is because your heart has melted for something. Doesn't matter what it is. It may be a child, it may be a husband, it may be a wife, it may be a tree, it may be a cause, it may be anything. But you're devoted to something. And it is best that you devote yourself to something which doesn't change much shape and form. See, you just got married, you were very devoted, but after 3 days, because what you devoted yourself to and this creature are two different things. So that is why it is best to devote yourself to a deity unchanging. Yes, it's a fantastic tool, I'm not making a joke out of it. It's a fantastic tool because it fixes one significant dimension of who you are. That is your emotion. People think they're intellectual, they are not. They're largely emotional. Emotional means they may not be dripping with love, they're angry, they're anxious, they're agitated, this is all emotion. Emotion gone bad. If you just become devoted, all these things are gone, just sweetness of your heart all the time. So devotion has that power. Do not misunderstand devotion to believing something. Believing something means you made up something in your mind and make it like a reality. No, that's not devotion. That leads to fanaticism. What is the difference? There is a big difference. One happens in your head, another happens in the level of your emotion. One is made up in the thought process, another is not made up in the thought process, it's just the way you feel. It need not be right, it need not be wrong. Devotees don't care whether something is right or wrong, all they know is they are devoted. This gives them a sense of freedom and lets them fly over all the bad terrain in their life. Yes, they don't touch any aberrations, they just fly over everything, simply because the sweetness of emotion has the power to do this. And even today, though people think and claim that they are very intellectual, still emotion is the strongest dimension in most human beings. Maybe it's not finding expression, it's gotten constipated in expression, but inside, it's roiling them all the time. They are not experiencing sense of absolute love towards everything, but they're angry towards everything, they're anxious about everything, they're tense about everything, these are all emotions.